Hi, everybody. Today we are talking about happiness, and I'm going to be challenging all of you to be happier and healthier and more positive. And if you know me, then you know that this is a very important core, belief of mine. I believe in happiness and positivity, and a lot of times, maybe if you've been around me, you've told me to stop being so cheery. I get it. I understand. But I wanted to kind of talk about what are the reasons why you should be happy? How do you be happy? And first of all, why should you be happy? Like, a reason why happiness actually matters in your life. And then how can you get yourself to be happier? So first of all, let's understand the definition of happiness, right? So happiness, Oxford Dictionary says that happiness or being happy is a feeling or showing of contentment or pleasure, okay? So let's just make sure we all understand that. Knowing that this is emotion and not a personality trait, it's important to know that the true meaning of happiness is absent of material items. Not to say that a great pair of shoes can't make me happy, but happiness, or true happiness, is without the use of material object. And the reason for that is because there's this idea of law of diminishing returns when it comes to material items. So the more you experience something, the more you have, the less you will enjoy it, or the less happy it will make you. So happiness, or true happiness, is the feeling that you get of euphoria outside of all material things. So what are 7 reasons that you should be happy? What are the 7 reasons? Number 1, happy people are more successful in life. A lot of times we say that, oh, the more successful you are, the happier you will be. Backwards, absolutely backwards. That's not true. There's been multiple research studies that have showed over and over and over again that happier people are more successful in life. 75% of someone's performance, work, product, all of that comes from their attitude, the way that they accept challenge, the way they deal with others. Only 25% is about their aptitude. So understanding how important your attitude and your happiness and how you work with others is extremely important. And Jesse, thank you so much for that quote. Yes, true happiness can absolutely come from how you have your personal relationship. Absolutely. But how do you ensure that you are making that personal relationship with God, if you believe in God, or whatever you are doing? How do you ensure that you are maintaining that happiness, and why should you be happy? So first, we said happiness. Happy people are more successful. Number 2, happy people maintain better relationships. Think about it. Who would you rather be around? Would you rather be around negative Nancy, like, oh my God, today sucks, I hate it? Or would you rather be around someone who's happy and making you happy and consistently in that positive vibe and cheering you up and being joyful? Who would you rather be around? So happy people tend to maintain better relationships. And this is not just personally, but this is also in a business environment. You will see happy people are better networkers. They are working with others. They know how to work within a community. They know how to get things done. So happy people tend to maintain better relationships. Number 3, and this one is scientific, so I'm gonna get all sciencey on you. Happy people have less stress, okay? Now, that does not mean that stressful things do not happen to happy people. Stressful things happen to everyone. It is how you see that stress and how you overcome it that is what makes you who you are. When you get stressed out, we all know that the more stressed you are, like, how many times have we heard that someone is more likely to get sick, or someone is more likely to be achy and tired and frustrated on a stressful day, right? So when we get stressed out, our cortisol hormone level increases. That often makes our muscles weak. It gives us high blood pressure. There's mood swings, all kinds of things, right? So that stress level, that increase of stress, can cause all of these other physiological conditions. So it's really important to try to maintain that stress level and be happy to have lower stress, because guess what? Happy people have higher serotonin levels. That serotonin level carries them through, and it gives all kinds of positive, happy feelings that alter the chemical makeup of your body. So happy people have less stress, and the more they are happy, the more they repeat that cycle, the more likely they are to maintain a lower stress level. Again, Not saying that stressful things do not happen to happy people, simply saying that they maintain their stress levels better and it does not affect them as physiologically. And thanks, Liz. Yes, I totally agree. Happy people have better relationships and less stress. Yes, we just totally agree. And I know you're a super happy person, so it's awesome to have you here. Happy people live longer lives. How crazy is that? There are studies, there are peer-reviewed medical studies performed all over the world that talk about people who are happier and how they have longer lives. Now, if you think about the fact that I just told you about lower cortisol levels, higher serotonin levels, and those kinds of things, it only makes sense, right? They're less likely to get ill, they're less likely to be stressed out, and therefore they'll live longer lives. Also, they embrace their life, so they're very much likely to live longer, happier lives, right? Next one, happy people tend to be more creative. They allow themselves to embrace experiences. They allow themselves to be in the moment and be positive in that moment, which releases their ability to think creatively, to be innovative, to explore their visions, right? So when our general mood becomes more positive, we can devise and envision creative solutions to a variety of problems. So happy people are generally better problem solvers. Now, to anybody who's listening to this and saying, oh my God, this is all crap and I don't believe in this, totally understand, that is your prerogative. But I challenge you to look at some of these studies that do talk about how the chemicals in your brain determine how well you do in life in so many different aspects. And so when we talk about things like creativity and success and all of these types of things, that's what makes different people happy. And that's how you, that's when you try to put your success first, when you say that, oh, I need to be successful in order to be happy, you're going backwards. And if you can just get yourself to the place where you're happy and content, you will be able to handle so many other things better. Number 6, happy people tend to be healthier people. They usually maintain better physical health. They care about their physical health. They have less hospital emergency room visits and less unpleasant physical symptoms. I mean, again, I talked about this a little bit when I talked about their serotonin and cortisol, and I talked about muscle weakness and illness and those kinds of things. It all goes together. So happy people tend to be happier. Let's look at Jesse's comment. I personally use all my competencies in the life I want to live. This is why. That's fantastic. And I'm so glad that you agree. And it sounds like you are absolutely embracing your life and living a happy, healthy life and making yourself happy and ensuring that it's coming from within. So I really appreciate that. Thanks for your comment, Jesse. The goal of happiness is to make the most of the good times and effectively cope with the bad times. So happy people do not experience any less stress, bad times, difficult situations than other people. It's how they cope with those bad situations, and it's how much they amplify those good ones. So when you think about someone in your life and you think about when you get mad, what is your response? That visceral, oh my God, I'm so angry response, that negative response. When something good happens to you, are you magnifying that as much? Are you amplifying that message as much? Are you saying, oh my God, that was the best thing that ever happened. I am so excited. Are you allowing yourself time to celebrate that win, to congratulate yourself, to appreciate it? Are you letting yourself do those things? Because if you're not, you're really being more negative than positive without even meaning to, because guess what? We all get mad. And sometimes when you get mad, you just see red. So it's really important to realize when you're angry, this is how I react. Okay, now what do I do when I'm happy or when something positive happens? And sometimes that's the key to your happiness. Number 7, happy people tend to be more generous. Now, this one, I think everybody is, I think most people are pretty generous. And so this is not to say that if you're not happy, you're not a generous person, but there is something about that cycle, right? The cycle of happiness, the cycle of generousness, the cycle of generosity, the cycle of giving, right? Like when you pull into Starbucks and someone has bought you a coffee, it just makes your day, right? And so you're like, oh, I want to pay this forward too. And you go ahead and do that next person. And that cycle of generosity will absolutely make you happy. So that's why happy people tend to be more generous, because they use that as a way to fuel their constant happiness. I think that, so Liz, you're right. Some physical pain and sickness can be caused by trauma. Absolutely true. I'm not saying it's not. I am saying, though, that if you have a decline in cortisol, if you have a rise in cortisol levels and you allow yourself to handle that kind of stress, it will also prolong any conditions or potentially cause additional conditions that you did not have before. So it's not just about being quote unquote happy. It is about how you deal with those things, because we all may have serious issues or conditions that we have to deal with. But in the way that we deal with them, if you look at people and how their recovery works, right? If you see two people are in the same situation, often you'll hear things like, oh my gosh, that person was so strong, or that person had such a great attitude and their recovery was better. So everything from your recovery to your trauma to everything else often is determined by your ability to accept that and your ability to kind of get your brain around it. So, one of the things I want to talk about now is my challenge. So I started this by saying I challenge you to be happy, right? So I challenge all of you to be happy. And that sounds very foo-foo. It sounds totally out there. I've given you some reasons as to why it's important to be happy. I've told you why, happy people may be more successful, have less illness. They might understand how to get happiness from within. I've told you about all of that. But how are you going to do it? So here are my challenges. And I'm sure that a lot of you have heard that it takes 21 days for something to become a habit. So how do you do this? How do you become happy? So I'm going to give you some tips, and I'm going to give you some things you need to try. And I expect all of you to try it for the next 21 days and see what happens. Number one, and I totally stole this from a TED Talk and thought it was amazing, a happiness journal. So the first thing you need to do is have a happiness journal. I've actually just bought them for my daughters as well. So it's something that I have practiced a lot in terms of a question like, hey, what was the best part of your day? And I do it to myself too. The first thing I do when I wake up is I say, okay, what was the best thing that happened to me yesterday? And often I think about 5, 6, 7, 8 different amazing things that happened. It could be anything. It could be like, man, I had a great hair day. Oh my gosh, I was able to sign an amazing client. Or wow, we solved a great problem. Or oh my gosh, I made a wonderful dinner. Or you know what, I just had a lot of fun with my kids yesterday. Or I got to hang out with my mom, right? Like it could be anything that makes you happy. So thinking about those top moments in your life is the first thing that I generally do when I wake up. It puts me in the right mindset. And usually thinking through those things again, thinking through those moments allows you to experience them again, which just brings a smile to your face. You can't help it. But when you think about something that made you really happy and really excited the day before, you often start feeling like, oh man, yeah, that was great. Yeah, I really like that. You smile about it, right? So instead of though just thinking about it, get a journal, get anything, get a little booklet, get a notepad, use stickies, it doesn't matter. And every morning or every night, whatever serves you, write down the things that made you the happiest in the day. What were the best things that happened to you? And now this is very different than gratitude. A lot of times people confuse happiness and gratitude and, oh, well, should I just keep a gratitude journal? Here's the thing. Gratitude is amazing, but gratitude does not come from within. You are thanking someone else or something else or being grateful for something in your life, which is amazing on its own. But that is not from within. When you are talking about and also sometimes we might feel like some of the things we're talking about are trivial when we start thinking about the gratitude. So this is a true happiness journal. Every night or every morning, it doesn't have to be a paragraph, bullet points is fine. But what were the best things that happened? Did you have a good lunch? Did you meet an old friend? Did you buy something that you liked? Did you have a successful specific thing at work? Did you talk to someone new? Did you make a new friend? Did you have a good time with your family? Any of these things could have been some of the best moments in your life. And that's what you're looking for. So write down the best moments in your life, and they can be as many as you want. Maybe start with 1 and then go to 8, 9, 10, however many you'd like, but write down the absolute best moments in your life so that you can relive them every single morning for 21 days or every single night, whatever works for you. But for 21 days, I challenge you to keep a happiness journal, to write down those things that just give you, and it could be, like I said, anything. It could even be, Hey, I'm really happy that I have gas in my car today because I didn't feel like filling it up. And guess what? I'm so happy that I already had gas in my car. That's really happy. That makes me happy, right? I'm really happy that I ate something my favorite meal yesterday. I'm really happy that someone noticed that they liked my shirt. That was cool, right? So it could be anything. And yes, Scott, thank you. I appreciate that. And Priya, thank you for tuning in. And Jesse, thank you as well. But so that's the first one, happiness journal. You guys are all going to take the best moments in your life. You're going to write it down every night or every morning. Put it in bullet points. It does not need to be full paragraphs. Just make it simple for yourself and reflect on those things. Okay? That's the first thing you're going to do. The second thing you're going to do is random acts of complimenting or smiling. This sounds very silly. It is definitely something I do. When I am in a stressful situation, when I am frustrated, when I am at Target and the line is 30 people long and I just want to check out for my one item, when someone has been rude to me, all of that, it makes me very annoyed. And so my goal is a random act or a random compliment, random act of complimentary, or a random act of smiling. Sometimes just smiling at a stranger, that you don't know, makes their day. Smile at them. Just smile at someone that you don't know. Look them in the eye and smile at them. They might need that. And then seeing them smile back at you lifts your spirits. It makes you feel so much better. All of that stress, that frustration somehow just melts away. Complimenting. Find something that you like, right? Wow, maybe someone in that long Target line has a really cool pair of shoes on. Maybe someone is being just a great parent to their child. Maybe someone is filling their cart with all the healthy things that you know you should be eating, but you might not be, right? But maybe the person who's behind the register is working super hard and is exhausted, and they just need to hear that they're doing a good job. Find something that you can compliment someone on. And randomly, in that moment, in that stressful, frustrated, angry, hard time, find a reason to smile or compliment somebody. I promise you, it will change your entire outlook. Your whole attitude will change if you just look at someone and smile. If you just look at someone you don't know and say, hey, you're doing a great job. Or, hey, have you ever seen that mom struggling? Thanks, Jesse. I'm glad that you do it. And you always you're so complimentary and you're so good about telling people about what's good about them. And I so appreciate that about you. But when we are out and we look at that mom and we see that super stressed out, frustrated mom because their toddler is going crazy, right? There's two ways to handle that. One is to get just as frustrated, like, oh my God, will someone please make that child stop? And the other is to go to that mom and just remind her that she's human and that she's doing a great job. Like, hey, guess what? You're doing great. This too will pass. You will feel better. She will feel better. You just made her day. And because you made her day, you will feel so much better. The more you can do of this, the more you can find happiness, the more you can find things that are good about other people, the more positive your outlook will become. So for 21 days, I expect you to not just keep the journal, but also every single day have one random act of a compliment or a smile to someone that you don't know. And for a lot of you, that may be outside your comfort zone. You might not like to talk to strangers, and I understand that, but a smile isn't that hard. And finding something that you love about someone is not that hard either. There's so many things that I admire about people as I see them walk by. I'm like, man, wow, look how put together that person is. Or wow, that person articulates extremely well. There's so many things that you can find. So find the joy, find the beauty, find something to compliment someone about. Find a reason to smile at someone, find a reason to make their day, and your day will become better. And the third is move. If you are not spending at least 10 to 15 minutes of your day in some kind of physical activity, you are messing with your own body's ability to be happy. You need that release. We are not meant to sit around all day. That is not what society is made for. That's not what the human race is built for. So move, get up and move. Go for a jog, go for a walk, play with your kids, get on a bike, dance, have a dance party in your own house, put on some music, do whatever you need to do, but move. And my last one that's a total surprise is find a song. Find a theme song. Find something that just makes you happy. So for my kids, this is a rule of mine that they have to have these happiness songs that we play on the way to school. And they're random, right? It's everything from what you heard right now, Pharrell's Happy, to Waka Waka by Shakira. My kids are little, so understand that. And it doesn't matter. We might even be listening to Crazy Frog. But being able to take a song and make it feel good, like knowing that, when I hear this song, I feel good. And then knowing when you're at your low to play that song, it absolutely changes your mindset. Music does so much to us. So find a song, find any song, find a song that makes you happy. So when I was little, my dad used to drive me to school, and we would, every Friday, the song, I just want to bang on my drum, I don't want to work, I want to bang on me drum all day, right? That song would come on. And it was great because that song would just make us both just giggle and smile. And it was so silly. But even now, when I hear that song, I have like a Pavlovian response, be like, yeah, this is great, right? So to go through this again, we have 4 things that I challenge you to do. Keep a happiness journal for 21 days. Write down everything that makes you happy. Write down what you are excited about. Write down the best moments of your life and relive them. Number 2. What's number 2? Random acts of complimenting and smiling. You are going to find someone to smile at. You're going to compliment them. You're going to take your lowest point in life and you're going to turn around by smiling and complimenting someone else. Number 3, you are going to get up and move. Liz, I love that you set an alarm and you wake up for an hour to stretch and group some music. That is amazing. You need to move. You need to get your brain working, your body moving. You need to move. Number 4, you are going to find a song. Find a theme song. Find something that makes you happy. Find something that makes you giggle. I don't care if it's Baby Got Back, but find something that makes you happy and play it at any moment and make it your theme song. Make it the thing that makes you the happiest and make sure that it gets you out of that funk. So I hope that helps. I hope that all of you have a happy, wonderful, amazing day, and I will talk to you again soon.